So guys, we're going to start with the idea that soil ecosystems change through the process of succession. What is the process of succession? Those are like different steps that comes from just bedrock to end in a fertile soil. Okay, I'm going to show you a picture later. So remember that fertile soil contains a community of organisms that work to maintain functioning nutrient cycles like phosphorus cycle, carbon cycle, water cycle, and that way soil is going to be resist to soil erosion. Okay, so in this part we have list as many ways as you can that soil can be degraded. So you must have in mind some, maybe monocultures, lack of rain, lack of water, overgrazing. So we're going to see that today. And you need to understand why soil is so important. Okay, I need ideas about that, why soil is so important. So I'm going to explain the process of succession. Soils become deeper and more biologically complex over time. So it's a process in which we have different steps, four as you can see, and they begin as a shallow layer. Here we have a shallow layer of windblown dust and lightly weather-bearing rock. This is parent bedrock. What happens in a period of time? This soil is going to recover, organic material is going to grow, plants, microorganisms. Then we have a stage of decomposition in which all that litter is going to enrich the soil and the horizons are going to form. At the end, we're going to have a well-developed soil with all the characteristics and horizon that we already know. As subsequent generations of mosses, lichens, and plants grow and deposit biomass, they add more and more organic matter to the soil matrix, improving soil fertility. That's why it's so important to have plants and living organisms around soil. So as you can see, we have pioneer stages, as you can see, bedrock, then mosses, lichens, and plants grow. And then we have shrubs and other types of trees up to get the climates community. A climates community is when we have a forest, an ecosystem that is already mature. So what kind of activities degrade soil? Types of soil degradation. We have erosion, that is a process that takes away the soil, as you can see in this picture. Due to wind or water, occurs mainly when lack of vegetation, deforestation and overgrazing occurs, making soil unusable because of pollutants and leaching of nutrients. Remember, leaching is the process in which all the water that is retained in the surface, it passes through the different horizons and carry out all the nutrients. They are like cleaning out the nutrients from these sections, and that is leaching of nutrients. Human activities that can reduce soil fertility include deforestation, intensive grazing, urbanization, and certain agricultural practices, such as irrigation and monoculture. When they use too much water, that is a very problematic situation. And monoculture means that they are using and cultivating just one type or species of plants in the same soil for a long period of time. Okay, as you can see, in this picture we can see a soil that is erosionated because of different problems. And then we have different case studies about what is happening to different parts of the planet. In this case, we have Brazil. What is happening in the Amazon rainforest of Brazil? Trees cut down to clear for mining, farming, logging, building roads and settlements. Money can be earned from the area from selling timber, cattle, biofuels. Land is cleared, natural habitats are destroyed. The same would happen with the animals and the species that are living there. And loss of soil by erosion. Okay, so we have many different places in Brazil that are being affected by that. Then we have another activities that like intensive grazing. Grazing is the activity in which animals, cattle, it could be cows, sheep, they eat too much grass in one section, okay? So they need to move to allow the soil to recover after a period of time. If they don't do that, that is not a sustainable way to take care of soil, as you can see in this picture. Then we continue with intensive grazing. Too many animals grazing in the same area. Plants can recover, leads to bare patches. So the soil is going to be infertile, plants are not going to grow, and we have bare patches. We have another case study about in Sahel in Africa. 1970s and 1980s, wealth determined by the number of cattle among owners in those places, wealth, so they had money or not. Led to very high stocking, exacerbated by drought, that is another problem, lack of rain. Wind erosion, cattle died, mass famine. All of them were hungry, okay? Then we have another problem, a human activity that caused the reduction of soil fertility, that is called urbanization. As you can see in this picture, we need to clear lands to settle different urbanizations or housings, right? That cause soil erosion, soil erosion. Then we have that more people now live in cities than in rural areas. Increased runoff may lead to extra erosion down a street. Many major cities expanded from settlements that were based on agriculture, therefore they're expanding into prime agricultural lands. So these human activities include certain agricultural practices such as irrigation and monoculture, as you can see. So which are the influences of human activities on soil fertility and soil erosion? We have to discuss that. That is in the part of working groups. Remember what is a discussion, okay? Then we have another case study about this problem. Dust Bowl, 1930s, American Midwest, overuse of land, wind erosion, soil and dust move many thousands of kilometers. So that's a very huge problem too. And then we have that commercial industrialized food production systems generally tend to reduce soil fertility more than in small scale subsistence farming methods. Sustainable agriculture is more a holistic approach to farming than conventional, relies on ecological processes, biodiversity and cycles adapted to local conditions rather than the use of inputs with adverse effect. That is the way to take care of soil, okay? We need to do that. Large amount of chemical and energy inputs are required in commercial and industrialized food production systems. So remember, inputs, outputs, storages, which alters the natural environment, deteriorates soil quality, and eliminates biodiversity. Maximize the potential yield of crops. So we need to, people, humans, they need to get everything from soil, that way that they can produce different kinds of vegetable, fruits, plants, and that is a problem. If they don't manage a sustainable way to take care of soil, they are going to destroy soil.